Alright, so now let's go back to our discussion. So there are different forms of guest account settlement. If the guest wishes to guarantee his or her reservations in the hotel. So there are four types of guest account settlements. The first one is what we call as the prepayment. Prepayment through cash can be done. Okay, so meaning to say that the reservations agent will be providing an account number of the hotel, and then after such, the guest will be paying it on the bank, and then send a copy of the deposit slip. Okay, advanced deposits are also available, so that's also the same. The only difference is that in prepayments, they would, or the reservations agent would be asking to pay for the whole stay. Okay, but in advance deposits, they will be paying for uh, a certain amount just to guarantee a reservation. Okay, number three is through the credit cards. So we have different links that the reservations agent can uh, upload on the system or upload on an email confirmation. So the guests just have to open a PDF file and then click that link, and it will direct them to a payment gateway system. So the most common payment gateway system that is being used on some reservations that are being guaranteed through credit cards are we have the so-called PayPal. Okay, we also have what's this? Asia Pay. Okay, Dragon Pay. Here in the Philippines, you have Dragon Pay. Right now, I believe there are also options of you using your GCash and PayMaya. Okay, and then the last one is a uh, more on the business to business side transactions. This is what we call as the send bill arrangement. So, what is a send bill arrangement? When we talk about send bill arrangement, it's basically in Filipino terms, it's called utang. Okay, it's utang of a corporate client. Okay, so if we're going to put it on layman's term, di ba pag tayo nangutang, pwede tayo magpalista sa tindahan. Okay, so ganun din sa hotel. We also have that kind of function. However, this is only limited for accredited travel agents and tour operators, and accredited corporate accounts with credit line status. Okay, again, this is only applicable for travel agents and tour operators, those accredited travel agents and tour operators, and um, accredited corporate accounts with credit line status. Okay, so let's discuss first the send bill arrangement for travel agents. Okay, so these are the basic steps on how we do send bill arrangements for travel agents. Okay, this is the thing that this process is actually the ones that we are doing way back when I was still in the reservations team of a certain hotel chain. Okay, so basically, the travel agent will call the hotel, or they will email the hotel reservation staff, and they will reserve a room using a booking order. Okay, during my time, there's still fax. They can still fax booking orders. So a booking order is basically a document from the travel agency which states there that they are requesting to book a certain room category, the number of rooms, and applicable rates for them based on their contracted rates. So you'll get to understand what contracted rate is all about once we move further into your studies in travel and tour management. Okay, so after receiving the booking order, the reservation staff will confirm the reservation and provide the reservation details either on phone or on email. So, once the reservations has been placed, this is still on a non-guaranteed reservation. We can only guarantee the reservation of a travel agent once the travel agent sends a purchase order. A purchase order is almost the same as that of the booking order, but when we say purchase order, it is already a document saying that they are guaranteeing or buying a certain service from you. So, once you receive the purchase order, you basically guarantee the reservation. So, once you guarantee the reservation, you now ask for a payment from the travel agent. And how do you ask them? You basically send a copy of the statement of account of that reservations to the travel agent, and you also include an option date. An option date is otherwise known as a cutoff date or a deadline. Okay, in order for the front office from the travel agent to reserve a certain room. Meaning to say, the travel agent must pay the reservations, okay, in full, okay, once on or before the option date. Otherwise, if they fail to do so, the system or the PMS will automatically release the room reserved for that specific requirement. Okay. The travel agent pays the amount of the SOA or the statement of account and sends a copy of the proof of payment to the reservations team. Now, once you receive the payment from the reservation from the travel agent, the reservations staff will tag the reservation as guaranteed and confirmed. Okay, so it's guaranteed and confirmed, meaning to say the reservations has been paid and it's already confirmed by the travel agent. And then, normally, the travel agent reservation guarantees the room purchase. And once it's guaranteed and confirmed, it's basically routed to the front office team. Okay? One characteristic of a booking for travel agents is that the rates are confidential. It should not be disclosed to the guest of the travel agent because normally the travel agents has a larger amount of discount, okay, to add up as to give them a certain margin for their markups, okay. So basically, once the reservation has been guaranteed by the travel agent, they normally uh, guarantee the room purchase and the inclusions of the room only. So any other charges, any other incidentals, any other availments of the guests being done during the stay that is not part of the room purchased or the inclusions of the room should be charged to the guest account and should be collected upon checkout of the guest. So reservation agents must always take note of that in the PMS notes or in the property management system notes so that the front office can double check, okay, if there are any guest availments that are outside the room purchases. Now, we will be talking about the corporate accounts and bill arrangements. Okay, so for the corporate accounts and bill arrangements, the first requirement is that the corporate account must have an existing credit line arrangement. Okay, so when we talk about credit lines, these are basically an authority for a certain company or a certain corporate account to uh, uh, to purchase rooms on credit. Okay? Or in Tagalog, ito ay authority or ito ay kakayahan ng isang corporate account na mangutang ng kanilang room requirements sa isang hotel at babayaran nila ito after the stay. Okay? Normally, credit line arrangements are being arranged on regular corporate clients. When I talk about regular corporate clients, in my hotel before, the first qualification for you to become a regular corporate client is that you should be reserving at least 200 room nights per year. Okay, so meaning to say, that's a total of 200 rooms per night. Okay, for the entire 365 days. Okay, we will discuss what room nights are all about when we reach the revenue management portion of this discussion. Okay, so I will continue the discussion and let's take a quick break. We will review it again after this one. So I hope you're still with me, and I hope you can have a quick break with you also. And then after such, we will continue the discussion on corporate accounts and bill arrangement. All right. So going back to our discussion, we are already talking about corporate accounts and bill arrangement. So like what I have said earlier, the credit line arrangement is a requisite for a client to avail a send bill arrangement. Okay, So basically, the process on how corporate accounts are using their SameBill arrangement is that the corporate client, uh, par- through a specific booker from their company, an authorized booker from their company, normally from the HR or the training department, or normally from the executive office department or the sales and marketing, okay, will call the hotel to the server room. So now the reservation staff will send the booking confirmation via email or any other medium. And then afterwards, the corporate client will send an LOA or a letter of authority, which is specifying the following. So that includes the room availment. Okay, the room availments, and another one are the added on service. Okay, especially if the client would say, sometimes there are corporate clients who will say, the only coverage of the room availment is the rooms and breakfast only. Okay, meaning to say, the rooms and breakfast can only be charged to the corporate clients. Other incidentals will be paid by um, what's this, the guest itself. Okay, but if they're handling VIPs, okay, they're corporate VIPs, they usually charge everything. Okay, so charge all activities of the guest. So normally there's a note there that says charge all hotel activities of the guest to kung kanino client. Okay, so yun po siya. The LOA must be signed by an authorized signatory, which can be seen on the credit line agreement. So you cannot allow an LOA to be signed by anyone from the company who is not duly registered on the credit line agreement. Okay? So normally those who are authorized to sign a credit line agreement or an LOA are the president of the company, the owners, probably the heads of the operations or the heads of HR. So it depends on how the structure of their business works. Then, after you receive the LOA will then be attached on the reservations file, and a copy of the LOA will be routed to the front desk team so that it will also be attached on the reservation file in the front desk section. Okay. Um, Guest stays in the hotel. So apparently, when the guest arrives, they will be staying in the hotel. Nothing will be charged on the guest. Okay, even incidental deposits can also be included as part of the letter of authority. Okay, but sometimes there are some companies that will only authorize the send bill arrangement for rooms only. So we need to say you still have to collect an incidental deposit from our guests. Okay, so, upon the checkout of the guest, the finance department shall send a copy of the billing of the corporate to the corporate clients, and um, there should be an agreed statement date. Okay, so meaning to say, after the guest stayed, okay, the front desk team will just ask the guest to sign a copy of the guest folio to acknowledge. Guest folio is basically the list of accounts that they have, or the list of transactions that they have done inside the hotel. So the guest will then sign to authorize, to say that everything is in correct order, every transactions are correct. And then afterwards, a copy of this guest folio together with the SOA or the billing statement will be sent to the company, to the corporate client. And then there will now be an agreed payment time, no, or agreed statement date. So normally we play at 30, 60, or 90-day credit lines. If the company is a good payer, we can extend until 90 days. Okay, but mostly for initial corporate clients with credit line status, we only allow 30-day payments. Okay, so that's the basic one. Then the client pays the hotel based on the agreed payment mode. So usually company checks, which are collected by your liaison officers or your uh, tawag dito, yan, from the liaison officers of the finance department. Okay, so basically that's how corporate accounts and bill.